Okay. Hello, everyone. It is your girl, Jamie Drew, with the girlfriendexperience.org. I know the lighting is a little bit dimmer than you're used to, so this is kind of a girlfriend experience after dark. Now, I'm just recording this a little bit later than I normally do because your girl was busy today. So make sure that you hit the like, share, subscribe, okay? And check me out on the girlfriendexperience.org, okay? There are some coaching sessions there that I know that you will love. And this painting is not up yet, but this is the current painting that I'm working on right now, you guys. It's busy, but you know how I like it. Okay? So that's not on the site yet, but I'm sure it will be soon as I'm done. Now, as you can see from the title, we're talking about greatness and separation. Greatness and separation. Those two things go hand in hand. Let me make sure I can see my comments and everything. Greatness and separation go hand in hand, you guys. So basically what I'm letting you know, and if you're on the path that we've been on with the girlfriend experience, classroom and everything, we're on a path to greatness. So if you're already on this path, you know that those two things go hand in hand. Some of y'all may be wondering about my glasses. These are just those blue light blocker glasses. They're not prescription, but anybody that knows me personally knows that I always wanted glasses since I was like 6 years old. So I'm thrilled to have these, you guys. But let's get right into it. Let's talk about it. Greatness and separation is really something that is really required for you to get to the next level in life, right? You want to level up. You want to make more money. You want to have more happiness in life. Then basically you're going to have to separate yourself from other people. Now, you don't have to separate yourself from everybody. Only the bad people. Listen, you guys, you know how they say it's lonely at the top? Well, baby, it's lonely at the top. It's lonely to be the creme de la creme, okay? Let me tell you, the reason why being great or becoming great is going to require this separation is because you have to make sure that you are in alignment with your goals. Okay? You have to make sure that the people that you're surrounding yourself with are in alignment with those goals that you want to achieve, like how you want to see yourself, right? So think about it this way. Think about a body of water, right? And let's just say a bathtub, okay? Imagine your bathtub, right? And you take your finger and you start swirling around in that bathtub, right? When you start, it's only going to be your arm, your hand, your finger swirling. But eventually, all of the water is going to start moving in that same direction, right? All those droplets of water. Why? Because they're syncing together with the same movements, the same vibrations. And just like that, that's how you and your circle sync up. You and your friends, you and your family, you and your significant other, you and your children. If you're not on the same page with the people that surround you, okay, you're just not going to get where you need to be. You're just not, or you're going to get there a whole lot slower. It's going to be a whole lot more difficult. So do this experiment, okay? Stick your finger, fill up the bathtub and stick your, or any, little glass of water, whatever. I mean, whatever you want to do. You are going to start vibrating on the same, your tuning fork is going to start tuning to the same vibration of those other people that you're around. Thanks for all the love. I see that, y'all. I appreciate it. That means y'all agree with me, right? You know how they say birds of a feather flock together? That has never been a truer statement, okay? Because they do. You start to act the same as the person. You ever been around someone and you start laughing the same as them? And you're like, hold on, that's so-and-so's laugh. You start laughing the same. You start walking the same. You start talking the same. I mean, I grew up being an Army brat, right? And I know that whatever different city I would go to, my vocabulary, the slang that I use, the drawl that I had would sync right up with the locals. Like now I live in South Carolina and I'm a whole lot more Southern than I used to be when I speak. And that is because I am starting to match up and sync up with the people that are around me, okay? And so those people that you're around have a real heavy influence on you, whether you know it or not. And that can greatly affect your life for the negative or for the positive. So if you're ready to go to the next level in life, okay, if you're ready to have, that home that you want, if you are ready to be in the financial state that you want to be in, if you want to get your body together, how are you going to hang around obese people and think that you're not going to be eating all the time? You will start to do the same exact things as those people around you. So it's very important that you separate yourself from those other people that are not doing the same things as you. So let's dig in a little bit, you guys, because y'all know I like to get a little deep with it. Let's break it down and talk about the different kind of ways you can match or unmatch people. Number one thing I like to talk about, let's just get this out of the way, is money. Okay? If you are hanging around 5 broke people, you're going to be the 6th one. I'm sorry to throw so many cliched sayings at you guys, but I'm telling you, that's what the case is. Because, if you're hanging around people that are, spending their money frivolously, and you're spending time with them and you're hanging out with them. And of course, I'm talking about pre-COVID. I mean, most of us aren't doing anything right now. Anyway, we're under quarantine, but you understand what I'm trying to say. You're hanging around those people, they're squandering their money. You may start picking up the same habits too. But if you get around somebody and they're like, well, I just got this lump sum of money. Like, say, for instance, you get a lump sum tax return and they're like, oh, I'm going to take this money, this few $1,000s, and I'm going to invest it in a business. Oh, so you're not going to go and buy a big flat screen TV with it? Maybe I should start me a business too. I've always been wanting to do that. Maybe it's time for me to do that. You're going to start thinking like them. And if you're around the right people, then you will maybe start to think about investing your money instead of spending your money, instead of pinching off of your money. You may start using your lump sum for what it's worth. You may start budgeting your money. I always tell you guys, every time I get on here, every single time we talk about money, I'm telling you, I budget down to the penny. Okay, I know how much every single one of my bills is, especially the reoccurring ones. I know exactly how much they cost. Okay, I know exactly how much is in my bank account. I know exactly how much is for bills. I know exactly how much is for pleasure. Okay, that way you see me, how can she always got her nails done and she's always got makeup and you know why? Because I know where every coin is going, and therefore I know what I can spend and what I can't. See, people that spend in the blind, they end up spending money that they didn't even know. Do you know what, delivery pizza cost 3 times? Okay, $75. It's going to be $25 at least ordering a pizza, especially nowadays, and you want to tip the person and all that stuff because it's a pandemic and everything. So if you do that 3 nights this week, you done spent a cool $75. When you could have spent that $75 on a bill, you could have put that $75 into your savings. Okay? You could have taken $75 and got yourself a nice robot vacuum cleaner. If you throw a little bit more money towards it, you could take that $75 and put a little bit more money towards it and get your LLC. There's so much more you could have done with $75 than to order pizza for 3 nights in the week. Okay, so I don't know who I'm talking to, but I know I'm talking to somebody. And honestly, I've been there before and had to come out of that. And I had to start, getting around certain people that were in the right mindset. So now I keep my circle really small. You know why? Because I don't want to be influenced by people who aren't living their lives the way I want to live my life. Okay? Because it's going to start to rub off on me. I can see where I'm going. Okay? I can already see where I'm going to be in the future. And you have to start thinking that way too. Do you see those people with you? If you know that you're hanging around somebody, or you got so-and-so as your boyfriend or so-and-so as your girlfriend, and you know that you don't see them in your future, what are you hanging around for? Because here's my thing. You're wasting all that time being with somebody who you don't want to be with, that you know is not going to be carried into your future, when you could be missing out meeting somebody else. Just think about that. If you would have separated yourself in order to be in a greater relationship with somebody else, then you would have the life that you want. This works for relationships. This works for finances. This works for food. This works for anything. Think about it. Let's go back to the whole relationship thing. You're spending some time with a significant other that you know you don't see in your future. Okay? So let's say if you weren't with that person on Saturday night, cooking with them, you might have gone out to the grocery store or gone out to a restaurant or made another choice. That alternative choice that you made because you weren't with that person could have led you to bump into another person that was more of a vibrational match for you, that was better for your future. Okay? You cannot waste time spending time with anybody that you don't want to see in your future. It's lonely at the top. Greatness requires separation. Do y'all hear me? Okay. I know y'all hear me. Now, there are going to be times when you are feeling lonely. There are going to be times where you're going to want to interact with those people because, especially right now during a pandemic, it's hard. You have got to be really strong to be able to pull this off and not call your ex back, your ex-guy, your ex-girl, your ex-friend, your ex-situation. Sometimes you got to dump friends too. Sometimes you got to dump family members. Okay? It's just what is required of you. But you have got to occupy yourself with other things that are going to take up that time, that are going to take up those thoughts. Okay? Influence is such a big deal. It can influence the clothes that you wear. Just based on, my friend is wearing this, well, maybe I should try. You ever seen your friend in a pair of jeans and been like, okay, I think I want those too, or a coat or whatever. Next thing you know, you're getting it. Okay? It's influence. It's in your mind, whether you realize it or not. Your media consumption, the food. Let's talk about food intake, you guys. How many of you have ever been on a diet? Okay? You were serious about it. You wanted to do it. You got all the ingredients and everything you wanted to make your little recipes and meal prep. But there was a person in your household that wasn't on the same page, or people in your household that weren't on the same page? Tell me that. How many times were you thrown off your diet because your significant other, your roommate, your friend, whoever wasn't doing the same thing as you? It's so much more difficult to go on a path when who is next to you is going in the opposite direction. It's so much easier for you to be able to flow together. This is why it's so important that you get people that you are equally yoked with. Okay? You're vibrating together. You don't have to have the same dreams and goals, but you both have dreams and goals. You both want to do better than you are. You both want to have more than you have. You're both positive. You both, are upbeat. You both look on the bright side of things. Those are the people that you want to link up with. And if there's nobody in your circle that's like that right now, you have to completely remove and separate yourself. That's the only way. That's the only way. You have to be so dedicated to your dreams and goals and habits that are going to get you there that you'll be unwilling to compromise. Okay? You will be unwilling to drop your standards to fit that old life. Because if you mess up, you're going to be going backwards. Okay? If you slip up and go with your ex, your feelings going to be all out of whack. Okay? Because that situation's not going to work out again. You're going to go through the same cycle again of the disappointment in yourself and everything like that. Okay? I'm talking a lot about relationships tonight, but this isn't specifically only about relationships with people in general. It doesn't have to be somebody that's your significant other. But if you revert back to your old ways, you're going to get your old results. Period. Point blank, period. It just is what it is. So you have to decide that, you have to decide who you're going to be. Are you going to be your old self, or are you going to be the great self that you see in the future? Because if you continue with the same old habits and the same old friends and the same old man and the same old woman and the same old job and the same old car, and you're taking the same route home and you're wearing the same clothes and you got your hair the same and you're taking the same old shower, not using the same old soap and the same old deodorant and the same old perfume and the same old lotion. What's different? How in the world can you get a different result by doing the same old thing? That's right. You can't. Okay? See, I learned a lot from growing up with a military family and moving all around and constantly having to start over. I learned the value of being able to start over. Listen, some of y'all may have to move to a new city. You've exhausted everything you got going on in your little town. There's nobody around you that you can even start over with. Your town's too small, or everybody, or you've just messed up everything you had going on in that town. You may be required to move. You may have to go to a new city, a new state, and you may have to start over, and you may have to reinvent yourself. And the people that tell you that you're being fake, goodbye. Be gone with them. Okay? You don't need them in your life. It's not about being fake. You want to know the realest thing you can do is be woman enough or be man enough to completely change your life into something completely unrecognizable to you. That's what's real. Separate yourself. If you want to be great, if you want to be amazing, if you want to be awesome, if you want to be financially free, mentally free, separate yourself. Separate yourself from people that are eating differently from you. Separate yourself from people that are using their money differently than you. Separate yourself from people that are not using the same type of language as you. Let them go. And yeah, they might laugh about you and talk about you behind your back. But like I always say, what people say behind my back is none of my business. I don't care. I don't care. I don't. I so don't. And you shouldn't either. Okay? It's time to move along. It's time to move up. It's time to level up. Let's go. Check me out on www.thegirlfriendexperience.org. Greatness requires separation. Do you agree? Comment below and let me know. Give me some examples of what you've gone through in your life where you had to separate from some people. Give the other people that are watching this some motivation, some encouragement. Let them know what you've been through and your result, how you had to separate from somebody, because it is required. It is required. The only way that it's not required, that you won't have to do it, is if you're already around an amazing circle. Okay? And if you were already around an amazing circle, then you probably wouldn't need my videos, okay? So if you're watching this, it's time to get bougie. It's time to let go. It's time to get too good on a couple of people and say peace. See you later. I'm about to be great and separated from you. It's lonely at the top, but I'm okay with that. Get some new friends. Y'all, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate your time. Again, check me out on www.thegirlfriendexperience.org. And until next time, peace and blessings. Love you guys.